It's the 18th of September. This is Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Right. Okay. Good morning. Again, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Yeshiva Tzalman he was trying to Zoom. This is our second share in the morning. We're learning Mishna Berura, preparations for Yom Kippur. And as I said, we'll be skipping around because there's quite a lot to do and not so much time to do it. So we'll pick up right here in Tough Ratio Dalet. This is the din of anointing yourself and wearing shoes on Yom Kippur. But as I said, we'll be going back and forth. We'll see where we'll jump from one place to the next. Okay, let's look there in Sif Aleph. You'd like to read, Mir?
Okay, one sec. Okay, so it says, let's see, Asur lasuk afilu miktsat gufo. Okay, so one can't anoint himself, I guess, his body.
Yeah, right.
Afilu eino ela lahavir zuhama. Okay. So even Eino Ella, it's for, I guess, to Lahavir.
It's to remove Zuhuma.
Zuhama is like dirt.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's a little bit. It's like it's body, usually body perspiration and grime.
Oh, right? Okay. So it is okay. So let's go on.
Maybe I'm not understanding what it means to anoint. I wouldn't think anointing would remove dirt or sweat.
Or maybe putting oil on your body.
Yeah, that would. We're not used to doing that too often. But I mean, don't forget, in earlier times they didn't have the convenience of indoor showers, and it would be sometimes a rare occurrence that they would bathe. As a matter of fact, at one point, I mentioned this once several years ago, there was a certain philosophy of medicine that it was actually thought to be detrimental to a person's health to take to wash, right? And so that's why one of the orders in the amongst the English kings, like the order of the bath. What is the order of the bath? This is a person that the king would take a bath one day a year. One day a year he would take a bath, right?
Wow.
That was, and the rest of the time he did not take a bath, right? So they lived much differently than we did. They would use other, I guess if they had dirt to remove, they removed it with other things rather than water. They didn't have that much access to water. And it was used as a cleansing fluid. So, that's, and also they would apply with perfumes, it would be perfumed as well. All that. Like they say the more that a woman smells from perfume, the worse her BO is.
Right.
What a cynic, Rabbi.
Just facing the truth. Just facing the truth.
Like, I think that also applies to men too.
Could be when men would, if they use colognes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
also
because you smell them too sometimes when they pass in the street or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right, for sure. In any event, let's get back to work here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it says, Aval imhu choleh afilu ein bo sakana. So even if he's sick, but is not in danger, o sheyesh lo hatatin v'rosho mutar. But if he has, I'm not sure what chatatin are.
These are like scabs or like psoriasis and these type of things, psoriasis. Various different skin conditions which could be inflamed by not putting on. If he's regular, let's say he's regular to put on lotions or anointments to keep a certain skin condition in check. And
Uh-huh.
it would be detrimental. Not we're not even talking if there's an infection. Obviously, there's an infection, and there's shiloh of infection spreading, and you want to apply some type of an ointment. But again, you should really any questions like this, you should really refer to your doctor, right? Get your doctor's professional opinion, and then you discuss it with your local Orthodox qualified rabbi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So according to this, if you have those two conditions, you are permitted to
right.
use oil.
But
Right.
only if it's on his head?
Uh, not I don't think specifically to his head. It might be more common if these things were on their heads, but I'm not sure it's limited to his head. Again, that's what I mean. If anytime you have these questions, a person has any specific type of a condition or ailment, right? It's you first discuss it with your doctor, right? If for example, let's say a doctor prescribed you have to put on let's say for a guy's got athlete's foot, the doctor gave him some athlete's foot thing to put on for 30 days, right? Twice a day, 30 days, right?
Right. Okay.
So he asked the doctor. The doctor is this gonna if I don't use this on run Kippur, is it gonna affect my athlete's foot? He says, nah, don't worry. They just say 30 days because I want to use up the bottle and buy another one.
Uh-huh.
How's that for skepticism? Anyway, so that's why you have to know. Sometimes the doctor prescribes these things. Take it 7 days straight. Twice a day. So again, if that's the situation, right? So it's an honest question. You ask the doctor honestly. If I don't apply this on Yom Kippur, is it can affect the condition at all? He says yes, yes, no, no. So if the doctor says yes, so then you go right and say, listen, my doctor said if I don't take this medication on you affect the condition. So what should I do? And he says, in most cases, the rabbi is going to probably agree with the doctor unless he has another opinion he wants to get or he has another insight into the condition. But that's usually the way you do it. Anytime you have any questions about these things on with medical situations, you first confer with your. I mean, you confer with the rabbi too. You could say, "Listen, I'm taking this stuff, right? Should I check with my doctor, and what questions should I ask him?" So you can check it. You can check with your rabbi first, and then the doctor first, then the rabbi.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see the Mr. Brewer here.
Okay, so it says afilu eno v'chulei chuzama. Okay, so even if he wants to remove that dirt, I guess, from him. Okay, so it says Rotzel Omar, that is to say, Da'af shehu shelo l'shem ta'anud asur. So he's saying even if it's not for pleasure, it's forbidden. Okay.
Right, because there are things where there are basically three general levels. One is that you're doing it strictly for pleasure, like let's say he's simply applying something on. They should smell and feel good. And then there's the other extreme, which is doing it for serious medical reasons. And let's say has an infection, he has to put on this cream or lotion or ointment to keep the infection, to stop it from infection from developing, preventing one, or dealing with one that exists already. And then there's a middle area, like let's say, a person just he doesn't like to have dry skin, right? So he puts on hand lotion or something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
He's not. You can't say he's doing it strictly for pleasure. He's just doing. He doesn't want to get dry skin, right? Now, the dry skin's not necessarily a medical condition, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. But it's not a medical condition. So that even in that case, it'll be forbidden.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let's see, chatatin. So you said this was scabs. Hainu
Yeah,
dafka b'makom shenohagin lasuk b'chol afilu ish bari. So let's see, what's this specifically? Hainu dafka in a
yeah. That
place.
means specific.
Okay, so let's see.
Maybe place means like a region, like a locality.
Oh, okay. So where they're accustomed to smearing this oil, I guess,
Uh,
bechol
yeah, on the weekday, even on the weekday,
on the
right?
weekday. Afilu ish bari. Oh, even if a person is healthy.
Right.
Aval b'makom she'eino hagim lasuk bechol ish bari. But if it's a place where they're not accustomed to putting this oil on the weekdays, asur lasuk agave chatatin is forbidden to put the oil on these scabs. Uvein b'yom tov uvein Shabbat, whether it's Yom Tov or Shabbat. Demuchach dehu mishum refuah. I'm not sure demuchach why it's considered the medical medicine, I guess, refuah.
That the muchachu mishum refuah. It's necessary. Muchach is like it's necessary because of medical for medical for medical reasons.
Oh, okay. And Kediel b'siman shin kaf zayin. So that's up above shin kaf zayin sif aleph in the Haggah.
Right. So there's a meaning. See, in those cases, right? That's meaning because they also you can't do medical treatments on Shabbos and Yom Tov. Right.
Right.
That's a separate thing. Meaning again, it has to be. We're not talking about this sekunus involved here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does it mean medically necessary? Is that not a sakana? Necessary, but not a sakana?
Yeah, because that's what they asked. Meaning, you know that you can't do medical procedures on Shabbos, right? Again, if it's a sakana, so then you have to, because of the danger to life itself, or there's a danger to a specific limb or organ, right? So since it's a sakana to a specific limb or organ or a person's life entirely has to show. So therefore, obviously, we did not make a prohibition in the light of and in the situation of sakana. So we're talking about where it's medical, but it's not because of a danger, right? So it's a medical procedure, but it's not because of you're not doing it because of the danger that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's continue on.
Okay, so we got up to bet.
Right.
Okay, so let's see. Asur lin ol sandal.
I'm sorry, what was this word? Kedila ale?
As we mentioned above, la'el is above previously, as we mentioned previously.
Thank you.
I always remember above because al is in it
Very good. That's good.
on top. Al on or above. Okay. Okay, so asur linol sandal o min al she'ur. Okay, so it's forbidden to wear sandals or I guess shoes of leather. Or shoes, I guess, made out of leather.
Right.
Mean al is leather?
Yes. It's literally, no, well, actually, no, the nial is literally a shoe.
Yeah, for shoes. Shell or is
Or skin,
skin, but
okay,
it could be leather. Yeah.
got it.
Okay. Afilu kav hakiteya v'kayotse bo. These words I'm not familiar with. Even what's kav? Kav hakiteya. That dolphin. Something about his foot. Shenik ta'a raglav.
So that's, see, this is a specific case. A person can't wear a shoe, sandal, or manal shoe, or some type of a shoe which is leather. A filo kavatia, a kavatia is like a person has to show him had a part of his leg amputated, so he wears a false
Oh, a
leg.
prosthetic. Isn't that called a prosthetic when you would
Yeah, yeah. That's the specific. Yeah, that's the good English name, right? Exactly. So they would do if it was made. They would usually to make it the interface between the end of the actual limb and the beginning of the prosthetic. So they would put ore there as a buffer, right? As a buffer. So to make it smooth and to make it soft a bit, and to have hard wood there or something like that. So that's also us.
okay, so let's see. So kavkate, okay, so a prosthetic. Okay, afilu shel eitz or oh, even if it's of wood but covered with leather. Wow.
Right. That's correct, right? Okay.
You know, sometimes it's forbidden. Sometimes you know, people think, you know, most people wear sneakers on or those plastic slide-on sandals.
Right.
But with sneakers, you still have to be careful because sometimes they have leather strips in them.
Correct. You have to be careful about that, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it says aval shel gemi o shel kash, but of gemi is plastic? No.
It was like rubber. There'd be
Oh,
like
rubber.
it would correspond to rubber. It's a type of a fiber made from grasses, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so rubber or kash is grass, I guess, or straw.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, shall beged or of I guess of cloth.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
shall sha'aminim mutar or of similar types, they are permitted. Okay, to wear. Afilu latzeit bahem the reshut harabi. Okay, so what? Even if you wear them in the public places? Okay, so let's see. Then it says Reshut harabim. There, just lost. Sorry. Oh, okay. So here's in the small print. Mutar la'amod karim uk it's kisatot shelor, and it's permitted to stand on. What's karim, like a mat or something?
This is a that like a pillow,
Oh, a pillow. Oh, kisatim, or I guess
like cushions.
a cushion of a shelor of leather. Okay. Mikol makom, nevertheless, hamachmir tavo alav bracha. Okay, but so what? Nevertheless, if one's strict about it, he'll come to a blessing upon himself. Okay, so if you don't if you don't wear those things, you're apparently better off, according to
Right.
the
Meaning in theory there's nothing wrong with it because it's not a shoe. But let's say you would have a mat which was made of leather. You could have some type of mat which is made of leather. So in theory it's permissible, but nevertheless, it's still better if a person's going to be machmir tovlo bro. Will be blessed because of it. So won't lose out. Now, why? Your question is, why should that be? Right?
Well, even more so, another good question might be, if you have a leather couch, maybe you should put like a blanket or towel on it before you sit on it.
It's yeah. I mean, well, or a chair. People have leather chairs for sure.
Right.
So, but we don't. But we really don't see it. We really don't see that, right? To sit on it's really not. This shouldn't really be a problem.
Right.
So I guess let's see the Mr. Brew. We'll get a little bit better idea of what's going on here.
Okay. So to receive a blessing. That's very interesting. Okay. Now I know why my shul uses plastic chairs for the high holidays. Okay. So bet shelor of skin.
All right.
Atarvaihu kae ella desandel hu shel or kasher uminal hu shel or rock.
In one second. I'm in the middle of a show. I'll come back in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is of leather.
Right. So this is shell ore.
Right.
And Atarvaya koi, meaning it's going both on the shoe, a sandal or a manal. There's a difference between a sandal and a shoe. So in either case, that's what Mr. Bruce is speaking about, right?
Right.
Who shall or kasha, mal shall or rach. What's the difference? If everyone asks you the difference, what's the difference between a sandal and a shoe? So a sandal is hard leather, and a shoe is soft leather.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
yeah, that's what the Mr. Barnes.
So I'm not sure. So hard leather or soft leather are exceptions to the rule, or
No, it doesn't matter. Meaning
it doesn't matter whether they are. Okay.
both the shoe and a sandal are forbidden because they're made of leather.
Okay. So what it's saying, if it's leather, then it's leather. Okay.
Right. That's right.
Okay. So this is Kav Hakiteya. This is the person with the prosthetic, or artificial leg, I guess.
Right.
Shenikta'a raglo ose kamin defus regel. So what if his foot was, I guess, amputated? They make a type of defus regel.
They make it like a mold. So you can make a mold of the where how the leg is going to be fitting into the prosthetic here.
Oh, okay. V'yesh ba beit kibur katan umaknis sham rosh shoko. And it is a base kibul, sort of like a bowl.
Yeah,
housing?
right, right. A base kibble it's like a container. They make this mold of the foot where they make a base kibble and then a receptacle for the limb.
Okay, and then they can enter there the I guess the top of it.
Right.
Top show. I'm not sure what that is.
So that means that's the thigh. That's where if it was.
Oh, the thigh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Vehu karoi kav. Miyar umar a hamichaber v'asao shel or. And karoi kav.
That's called the kav. I mean, this mold where they put the receptacle for the limb, that's called the kav.
Oh, that's the kav.
Right.
Oh, that's what karoi is. That's called a kav. Okay.
Yeah, kori. It's kori kav, right? It's called the kav.
Okay. Umare hamichaber, and so okay. Mechaber, let's see, basa o shel or. That so it's okay to be made of leather.
Right. So Ramira Mechaber, but it's not. It's the Mechaber is talking about with this receptacle was made from leather. The Mechaber said it's usher, right?
Right. Oh yeah, right. The hadin imhu shel eight the hupet or ukidil kame. And this is the din if it's made of wood, I guess covered with
Right.
leather.
Let's say you have some type of shoe, but it's covered with leather. I don't know whether it's decorative or it's serving some purpose. So we'll speak about that as we go along.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, I see our time is left. Make a note that we left off here with hay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's on overtime. It's on overtime. All right. Okay, very
Okay.
good.
Yeshikoa.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Koyach, Meir.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Lou.
Okay,
Thank you,
everyone,
Rabbi.
quite welcome. Everyone should have a good afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Amen.
Very good.
Okay, shalom, bye.